Hey guys, Morning Reaper here. So it's a very special video today. It's Blu-ray collection video time. It'll be obviously one of these every year. I did one, well, not this time last year, like well earlier last year, just cause we'd literally just been in the lockdown, so I figured I might as well give something. But now that my collection has grown a bit, I figured I might as well show where it's at now. You know, the orders and pickups have dried up a bit, so you know, I don't want to be showing an incomplete collection. So yeah, well, take this shelf by shelf in alphabetical order. I'll show what I have, and then you know, show the next shelf, so on and so forth. So start with the first shelf, and which is the numbered films and letters A, B, and the first film with the letter C. So yeah, right. So start off the numbered films with a 007 film, Casino Royale, the deluxe edition. Very nice looking set. I need to get the rest of the Daniel Craig Bond films, you know, Quantum of Solace, Skyfall, Spectre, and so you know, so I can do like a Bond review series in time for No Time to Die later this year. Yeah, a very nice looking set. Forgive the sticker residue. I bought this second hand for like $3.50 from CAX, so that's why it's not in the greatest condition. But you know, it's a very nice set. And next up on the numbered section, a film I absolutely adore, 1917, the 4K. I don't have the, well, I haven't watched the 4K disc yet. I hear this is a reference-worthy 4K though. So when I do eventually make the upgrade to 4K, this will be one of the first ones I watch, just for that very reason. That said, it does look great on Blu-ray though, and obviously it's a great cinematic experience. It's really nice spot gloss there on the slip cover, and there's some more on the back as well. The overall, just a really nice looking release for a fantastic film, my favourite of last year. The next up, the last numbered one I have, 71, the Troubles film. Still need to watch this. Very important film for me, obviously, because it's set in Belfast. It's all about the Troubles, obviously a very big part of Northern Irish history. But yeah, picked this up from Poundland. Wasn't expecting to find it in Poundland, but it looks very nice with the black case. So yeah, I'll probably watch this soon just because I've been hearing great things about it, and you know, it's in the Northern Irish set film, so I'll have to check it out. So yeah, now onto the letter A. Kick it off with Ad Astra, one of my favourite films of 2019. I really did enjoy this film, and yeah, this release looks very nice. It's like got some spot gloss on the slip, if you can see, but it's got this overall matte finish, which works very well. And yeah, on the spine you can see like it's more gloss, like what we call it, spot matte. I don't know. But overall, a very nice looking release. I need to rewatch this at some point, just because it is a very good film. If you haven't seen it, or you're put off more by the slow burn style of it, then I would highly recommend you give it a go, just because Brad Pitt in space, what's not to love? And next up we have Alien, the 40th anniversary release. A very nice set. This nice looking slipcover with some very good artwork on the cover and some art cards. A great anniversary collector's edition for a classic film. A very good slow burn, suspenseful film. And then next up we have Alien Covenant. I need to get all the rest of the Alien films, but I've Covenant here. I picked this up for like £5 at FOP in Edinburgh. It does look very nice. Some embossing there. I love the simplicity of that cover, and some like nice holofoil effects on the back. Next up we have Alita Battle Angel, the 4K, 3D and Blu-ray combo pack. Very nice release. I really love the shiny finish on the slip, and I just love the silver band up the top and the 4K silver spine and the black case look excellent together. That's why I picked up this release, just because of how nice it looked. And yeah, I need to watch this. Well, I haven't watched the 4K with the 3D, but I can imagine this will look great in 3D, obviously because of the involvement of James Cameron. Just a very good film though, if you haven't seen it. And next up, The Amazing Spider-Man 2 in 3D. I know this isn't the best film, but you know, it was £1 in Poundland. So yeah, this was back before they doubled the price on their Blu-rays, but yeah, it is still a nice looking release though. Obviously the clear case for the Sony 3D, and I love the holofoil and the embossing. It's just gorgeous. It's very much a case of the Blu-ray looks better than the film is. And American Animals, I haven't seen this, but this does really interest me. Just the true story behind it sounds so interesting. Obviously, it's just a fairly bare bones release, but I hear good things about the film, so I'll probably check it out sometime soon. And next up we have Apocalypse Now, the 40th anniversary 6-disc set. Now, I'm just going to show what it's like from the inside, just because, yeah, it looks fantastic. So absolute beauty of a set, some really nice artwork there, like you can see just all over it. It just looks stunning in that shiny matte finish. Yeah, this is the US import. That's why there was no ratings logos on the disc. But yeah, somehow they was still allowed to be traded into CEX. That's where I got it from. So you know. Next up we have Avengers Infinity War. I need to get the rest of these matching Marvel sleeves, but here's the Infinity War one here. It looks gorgeous. Like, I love like the shiny finish, like the matte finish on it, and like the spot gloss embossing on the Avengers Infinity War. The white just looks lovely. The back there is just more of the same shiny matte style. But yeah, I can imagine if I get more of these will look lovely on the shelf together. And then next up we have Bad Boys for Life, which genuinely surprised me. I wasn't expecting it to be nearly as good as it was. Yeah, it was very funny and action packed. And yeah, it is with a very nice looking slipcover. I just love that cover so much. And even on the spine, like, you get the images of Will Smith and Martin Lawrence's characters on it. I need to get the box set of 1 and 2. And that'll complete the Bad Boys collection for now, because I know they're making a 4th one. Next up we have Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, the recent remastered release from Studio Canal. I love that cover, just even though it's like entirely new, it just very much goes back to those days of that style of poster back in the 80s. It's great. And like even on the back you can see like don't pause, you can see all the special features. You can just see all the love that Studio Canal has put into this release by, like, you know, digging up things like the Bill and Ted animated series. And next up we have Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, the German release, my personal favourite of the trilogy. I know a lot of people will probably agree with me, probably some that prefer Excellent Adventure, but my personal pick is Bogus Journey, and yeah, it's just so funny. This is the German release, comes in this very nice red case, and obviously inside you can sort of see the reversible cover. I reversed it obviously so I didn't have to see that awful German rating symbol. But of course on the disc there you got Keanu Reeves, the best image they could have used. And next up we got Black Hawk Down, a really great war film set in Somalia about the US Marines. A huge cast, and yeah, this is obviously the original Blu-ray release, one of the very early ones, as you can see by the Experience High Definition on the bottom. But it is just a great film, and if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. A great soundtrack as well. And next up, we got Blade Runner 2049, the 3D. Picked this up for fairly cheap at HMV, just because I wanted the physical of this. I absolutely love this film. Probably one of my favourites. It is just stunning. It's gorgeous to look at. The soundtrack, the acting, it just comes together in perfect harmony to make an absolute modern masterpiece. And yeah, obviously there's no slip cover with it, but still looks great with the clear case. And obviously the two discs have individual artwork and stuff, but overall just a fairly nice release to have. I cannot wait to check this out in 3D once I have the ability to do so. I can imagine the colours in this will just pop so much. And to wrap up this shelf, we have Captive State, the French release from Metropolitan Films. A fairly nice release, as you can see here. It came with a slipcover, and it was second hand from the Amazon France marketplace, but came in fairly good condition actually. It's got like a nice slim case and some artwork on the spine as well. I didn't know what to expect with this film. I'd heard fairly mixed things. The trailers look really good, but I heard not a lot of great things about it, but I actually really did enjoy it. It's not an action film by any means, but it's very interesting. It's a great world building, great acting, the score is fantastic. I would highly recommend it. So yeah, that's my first shelf from the numbers and A through the start of C, and now we'll go on to the next shelf, which is C through to the start of H. So kicking off this shelf, I have Chappie. I haven't seen this, but I do really like District 9 and Elysium, so looking forward to checking this out. Hopefully it's as good as those two. Yeah, I really like the cover, and you can see here it comes with a bonus disc. We have very nice looking, fairly simple release, but looks good. And next up we have Chronicle, really good film. Obviously before Josh Trank kind of lost it and made that abomination of a Fantastic Four film, but this is really good. I need to watch the extended cut, but the normal cinema cut's very good as well. A very interesting concept and pretty dark actually. And then next up we have The Commuter, very underrated Liam Neeson film, and it comes in this with this very nice release, a nice matte finish slipcover with some embossing, and even on the spine, it's embossed as well. So that's nice. And then next up we have The Dark Knight Rises. I need to upgrade the other two of the trilogy, but I do love these films. They're probably one of the best modern film trilogies out there. And of course, like Chappie, this comes with a bonus disc, and I really like the artwork they've got on both this, it's the same, but it looks very nice. Next up we have Dawn of the Planet of the Apes 3D. Fantastic film, and again another one for one of the best modern film trilogies. These films are just incredible, and Dawn was originally my favourite of the trilogy, but upon rewatch of War, that has taken top spot, but it's a fantastic film nonetheless. And it comes with this very nice reflective looking shiny slipcover and some very nice holofoil on the back. Yeah, I need to upgrade Rise and War from the old DVD versions, but yeah, when I do, I need to get out obviously all the original Planet of the Apes films. Next up we have Deadpool 2. Again, another one I had to upgrade the other film, but I really like this release. Comes in a nice red case, and of course comes with the super duper cut, and I love that cover. It's a hilarious film. I haven't seen the super duper cut, but I did go and see this at the cinema, and it was so funny. And next up we have District 9. Brilliant film. I really love this film's like really fresh take on the alien invasion thing, but rather than having them invade and take over, they just kind of coexist. And yeah, of course, it also has Sholto Copley as Wickus, and he's brilliant. And inside, as you can see, there's some very nice inside artwork and some disc art as well. Then next up we have Dread. Brilliant film. I'm still waiting on a sequel to this being made. Like, it's a shame that no one went to see it because it really is great. I haven't watched the 3D yet, but I hear the 3D on this is one of the best out there. The 2D transfer, yeah, you're never gonna hear that said very often, but the 2D transfer wasn't exactly the best. But it doesn't take away from the fact that it is a great film. And then next up we have Dune, the original David Lynch film. I haven't seen this, but I read the book fairly recently, and I wanted to check out Lynch's film before the new film directed by Denis Villeneuve comes out later this year, which I am so pumped for. It's my most anticipated film of 2021. But yeah, this release does look fairly nice. I believe there's another release by Universal, which I think might be out of print. Next up we have Elysium. A very good film. Not as good as District 9, but it's still a pretty good film nonetheless. I really like the world building. And I know this came with a slip, but the one I got didn't have a slip. But it still looks very nice nonetheless. I really love the way on the spine continues right through to the back. And I really like the inside artwork they've got of Sholto Copley's character Kruger, who is the highlight of the film. He's hilarious. And next up we have Ender's Game, the Steelbook. Still need to see this, but I've heard the book is better, but I imagine it should be fairly fun. But yeah, this is a very nice looking steelbook. Some embossing on the Ender's Game there, and a nice glossy finish, and some embossing and debossing on the back. Yeah, for £8 at CX, it came in fairly good condition. There's some light scratches, but nothing too major. Next up we have Fantastic Beasts, The Crimes of Grindelwald. Personally, I actually quite like this film. I know a lot of people don't, but it's not too bad actually. It's not perfect, but I do enjoy it. And I love the slipcover on this, it looks great. The matte finish and the nice silver foil, which is embossed. And I love the shiny effect for the wand. It's Looks so nice. I need to watch the extended cut of this. I assume it should make things make a lot more sense with the new scenes added. And next up we have First Man, a really good film. I need to watch this again at some point because I know it was on Channel 4 fairly recently, but this is a great film. The sound design is stellar. Like, this is very nice, simple, glossy slip, but you know, I do love that cover. I'm glad they kept that poster. And yeah, obviously, see some of its awards credentials. Obviously, Damien Chazelle is an Oscar winner, so I believe it won Best Visual Effects at the Oscars in 2019. And next up we have Flatliners, the original with Kiefer Sutherland. And obviously this is one of the early Blu-rays, as you can see from the bottom. Yeah, fairly nice release. Obviously I love the Sony, the way they've got like that consistency on the spine on their early releases. And we've got The Gentleman. I need to get more of these Guy Ritchie geezer gangster films. Obviously, Lock, Stock's out of print, but I know there's a new release coming soon from Lionsgate. And Snatch can probably be got fairly cheap, but right now I've got The Gentleman. I need to check this out, but I hear it is very funny. Fairly nice, simple, bare bones release, but you know, for a tenner from HMV, like, I couldn't say no. And next up we have Glass, which I know it's not as bad as some make it out to be. It's just that final act just ruined it. Like, it was so dumb. And it started off so strong as well, but yeah, we have Glass. I really like that cover. If only it had a slip with like spot gloss for the glass, that would have looked really nice. I know the 4K does, but the Blu-ray is just a little more bare bones. But still, I do love that cover, and it's nice to see these characters, you know, come together for the final entry of the trilogy. We've got Godzilla, King of the Monsters Steelbook. What a beauty! I love the way like the cover artwork just, you know, just expands over to show Godzilla facing off with King Ghidorah, left head Kevin, and it's got some quite nice inside artwork as well, which keeps with that red, blue, and yellow look of the cover. The film was okay, not the best, of probably the weakest of the MonsterVerse. I haven't seen Godzilla vs. Kong yet, but I'm waiting for that to come to cinemas. And I do need to get the other 2 steelbooks. But yeah. But right now, the only one I have is King of the Monsters, but this is a beauty. And next up we have Hardcore Henry, the first-person action movie. This is a fairly simple, bare bones release, but I do really like this film. It was cheap from CEX. Yeah, I need to watch this again at some point, but because it is just loads of fun. Like, it's just pure unfiltered action. Like, it's just a total ride, and the first person style just really immersed me in it. I know some people didn't like it, probably due to motion sickness, but yeah, this is a very good fun film. Alright, so that's my second shelf done. Now on to the third shelf, the remainder of the letters H through to the beginning of the letter M. Alright, so kicking off the third shelf is Hellboy, the reboot. I know this wasn't the best, but I don't think it's as bad as people make it out to be. It's alright. It's got, you know, it's got its moments. I mean, I like David Harbour as Hellboy, and some of the creature design was pretty cool, but yeah, obviously not a patch on the Del Toro films. Next up we have How to Train Your Dragon, The Hidden World, the 3D, I know there was that whole point when Universal was offering up the 3D for the price of the normal Blu-ray, and that was kind of the thing, instead of just offering up the normal Blu-ray. But bargain price and a great ending to the franchise. Next up we have Independence Day Resurgence 3D. Yeah, another one that's not the best film, but it's alright for a bit of fun, bit of cheesy blockbuster fun. It's obviously not as good as the original Independence Day, which again is a bit of cheesy fun. Like, there's nothing really awards worthy about these films, but they're entertaining. Then next up we have The Informer, which was a pretty solid little prison film. Not the greatest film ever made, nothing too special, but it's pretty good, pretty gripping, and some good performances. They obviously got this fairly bare bones release, with no slipcover. Next up we have It Chapter 2, the 2-disc set. I know one release, it was kind of pointless calling it limited edition, just because it was so easy to find everywhere, but obviously within a few months it became genuinely so hard to find, so I guess that justifies the limited edition now. But yeah, it's a fairly nice release. Obviously not quite as good as Chapter 1, but still a good film and a good conclusion to the It saga. Next up we have John Wick 1 and 2. Two great action films. If people are, to anyone that moans about modern action films all being shaky cam, PG-13 toned down, I will direct you to this franchise because, well, they're fantastic, just beautiful to look at, fantastic choreography, and of course, it's got Keanu Reeves, so you can't really go wrong. Next up we have John Wick Chapter 3, Steelbook. Fantastic film, absolutely adored this at the cinema, and yeah, I haven't watched it in a bit, but it is a great film, and as you can see, is the actual steelbook underneath is this very nice shiny glossy finish. And John Wick and his dog, and comes in this very nice protective slipcase, and came with a coin and a Continental lobby card as well. Next up we have Joker, phenomenal film. Joaquin Phoenix is just fantastic, and the cinematography, score, and overall character development, it's just a brilliant film. I need to watch it again. I haven't seen it since it came out at the cinema, but it is brilliant. Yeah, forgive this is when I took the sticker off. Yeah, obviously it brought the funny "we live in a society" that Jared Leto didn't say in Zack Snyder's Justice League. And next up we have Kick-Ass, the Real Heroes edition. I need to get more of these releases. They look very nice with the comic book artwork, and I love. There's a bit of a spot gloss finish on the Kick-Ass logo. Yeah, I really love the way it's made up of different images from the film and that poster image there. And I love how underneath the actual Blu-ray itself has that comic book artwork. This film is a ton of fun though. I would highly recommend it if you haven't. It's probably one of my personal favourite comic book movies. And then obviously with Kick-Ass you gotta have Kick-Ass 2, which yeah, it's not a patch on the first, but I still think it's pretty fun nonetheless. It doesn't quite get that balance of humor and darker stuff quite as well as the first, but there's still some sequences that stand out, and Jim Carrey as Colonel Stars and Stripes, for the screen time he has, is pretty fun. Next up, we have Kingsman: The Secret Service. Brilliant film. As the song's just such fun. It's just got such a cheeky sense of humor. Like, I just can't help but not love it. Like, it's it's just brilliant. Obviously the sequel wasn't quite as good, but it was still entertaining, which I do need to upgrade that. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing The King's Man later this year. And next up we have Knives Out, the HMV exclusive first edition. Brilliant film. This was such fun at the cinema. It's very much proof why some films need the big screen experience, because, well, this film was just so funny that all the jokes, you just see like everyone in the audience laughing. So it's a real shame we're not going to be getting that with the sequels, because they're going to Netflix. But hopefully they get a limited release. I would definitely go and see them on the big screen, just to get that experience of the first film. Unfortunately, this is fortunately, because the other two are going to Netflix, it means that this first edition will forever stand alone. So the franchise will never have a complete physical release. But yeah, it's a very nice release. I love this cardboard case. Obviously, it's a slightly flimsy card, but yeah, it's got the 4K Amaray inside, and the art cards, and a little 24-page booklet of a Harlan Thrombey book. And next up, we have The Last King of Scotland Steelbook, a brilliant film. It's definitely not for the squeamish, that's for sure. But yeah, this steelbook looks lovely. I just love the colours on it. It looks fantastic. And I would highly recommend the film if you're into like that period of history. Next up we have Life. Definitely one of the better Alien knockoffs. That ending is really good. Yeah, obviously they kind of misled us with Ryan Reynolds, but you know, still a pretty good film. I picked this up when I first came to Poundland in 2019. But yeah, fairly nice simple slipcover. I've seen the better looking slipcover on some of the releases, but this is the one I picked up. And next up we have The Lighthouse. Brilliant film. It's such a surreal, interesting film, and Willem Dafoe and Robert Pattinson are both fantastic. And the Blu-ray, well, obviously it's a fairly simple bare bones release, but it comes in this very nice black case, and it works so well considering the black and white artwork. Obviously I haven't swapped it out for another film, just because, well, it suits it right down to a T. Next up we have Logan Lucky. I still need to watch this, because I got it from Poundland over the summer, but it does look a lot of fun. It's from the Steven Soderbergh who directed Ocean's 11. I do really like that film, so I can imagine this will be more of the same. And next up we have The Meg, another film that I kind of enjoy as just a bit of cheesy fun. Obviously it's not a great film, not be winning any awards, but you know, it is still pretty entertaining. Unfortunately it's quite toned down, you know, to get the China money. So next up we've got my fourth shelf with the remainder of the letter M and right through to the letter S. So kicking off this shelf we have Midway, a very underrated war film. Obviously it's quite bombastic and big on spectacle, but I respect the effort they made to try and keep it historically accurate, even if the script and CGI aren't the best. And inside it actually does come with a little booklet. You can see all about the real heroes at the Battle of Midway. Next up we have Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children 3D. Brilliant film. This is Tim Burton back to his very surreal best. Unfortunately, the Dumbo remake wasn't that great, but this film is very much Burton, and I just love it for that. It's so surreal and dark. I need to watch this again. I hear the 3D is really good, but when I have the technology to do so, I'll absolutely be checking this out. After Dread, obviously. Next up we have Olympus Has Fallen. I picked this up like last weekend from Poundland after waiting about a year for it actually to turn up in one of my locals. But yeah, I haven't seen it, but I have heard fairly good things. I heard it is pretty tense, so looking forward to checking it out. Next up we have Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I still need to see it, but I've heard it is brilliant. And I love this like matte finish slipcover and that retro style poster that I chose for the cover art. It looks great. And inside the disc actually looks like a film canister, which is a very nice little touch. Next up we have Overlord, a really underrated little World War II style B-movie schlock. It's a ton of fun. Obviously the actual monster stuff doesn't kick in until fairly late on in the film, but even then, before that, it's a pretty good wartime film. Fair bare bones Paramount release, but you know, if you want to see the film, I'd highly recommend it. If you don't know if you'll like it enough to buy the Blu-ray, just check it out on Netflix first. But it is a ton of fun. It's just always relentless with how violent it is. Next up we have Pacific Rim Uprising. I still need to upgrade Pacific Rim 1, but I do really enjoy that film. And Uprising, you know, it's not as bad as some make it out to be. It has some fun action. Like, I mean, you have big robots punching kaiju, like, of course you're gonna get some kind of enjoyment out of it. Next up we have Paddington, a really brilliant family film. It's just so sweet and feel good, and it comes with this very nice embossed slip. I really love all the embossing on Paddington. And then we have Paddington 2, which just takes the sweet, feel-good tone of the first and uses it to such an effect. I enjoyed it more than the first film, and of course another nice embossed slipcover. Obviously, no embossing on Paddington this time, but like the Paddington 2 logo is embossed, and like even the reviews on the back are. Next up we have Poltergeist, the original, coming with this really nice looking Warner Bros. Horror slip, and I just love the spot gloss on the TV and on the logo. But obviously underneath is the original poster and the original cover. Next up we have Predators. I need to get the rest of this franchise, but Predators is pretty underrated. Like, it seriously deserves more credit. Like, it was very much a fun little back to basics kind of film, and I would really love to see a continuation of this story, just because it is genuinely so interesting. And obviously Shane Black's film wasn't as good, but I don't think it's as bad as it's made out to be. Next up we have The Raid and The Raid 2. But I said earlier that I refer people to John Wick if they want good modern action films. I will also refer them to these films because these are even more brutal and just the choreography is so good. The first film was a very tight and contained film, very fast paced, and the sequel is more of a slow burner, but the action is still so good. Like, that kitchen fight, come on. And it comes in this very nice little box set, and of course artwork on the discs, and for the sequel, of course, they gotta use the kitchen fight, but for the disc, just because it's a standout action scene. Next up, we have Ready Player One. Obviously, not one of Spielberg's best films, but it is still very good, very enjoyable, and a lot of fun. It's fun seeing like all the different Easter eggs in the film. Like it's essentially a who's who of famous pop culture stuff, but it is genuinely very entertaining. But it is so different from the book. Next up, we have Sherlock Holmes, the Guy Ritchie film. I've been meaning to check these out for ages because I hear they are very funny. But obviously, Holmes and Watson tries to spoof these films like 10 years way too late. But yeah, this is the first film. I love the cover, and yeah, of course, to go with that, you gotta have Game of Shadows. I got this for my birthday this year, and so obviously that's what inspired me to seek out a first film. And what I like about this one is that it comes with the Blu-ray and the DVD. Which I didn't mention this on Predators, but that also comes with the Blu-ray and the DVD. Man, I wish films would still do that. Like, I know in America they do, but I miss it in the UK. Next up we have Solo, the 4K. Pretty underrated Star Wars film. Granted, Star Wars is my favourite franchise, so even when they have not so great films, I'm still willing to defend them. Right? Yeah, this film was pretty fun. And I do need to get the rest of the saga, obviously with the new matching covers, but yeah, this is a very nice release. Then next up we have Southpaw, a very good boxing film with Jake Gyllenhaal. It's such a good fun boxing film. Obviously it hits all the boxing cliches, but you know, but man, the training montage in this film is top notch. Like, and yeah, I really love the slip like embossing on the title, and that's on the spine as well. And next up we have Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I was rather unfortunate in that Tesco, when I bought it from them, it didn't have a slipcover, but you know, I adore this film. Like, it's probably one of the best comic book movies. Like, it's probably one of the best films. Like, it's such a joy to watch, visually and narratively. Like, it's definitely not style over substance. I'm really looking forward to the sequel. And to round off this shelf, we have Split, a very good contained kind of thriller. And James McAvoy's performance, fantastic. And I really like the slip. I really like some of the spot gloss on the images. Yeah, I got this for the bargain price of $4.99 from HMV, so you can't really go wrong there. Right, so now on to the final shelf of T through to the letter Z. So kicking off the final shelf is Taken. Obviously, let me just say much about this film. It's a brilliant Liam Neeson film, obviously the one that kicked off Liam Neeson's whole action film phase of his career, which is still going today. But yeah, this is such a good film. Very good story, actually. Yeah, obviously the version to watch is the extended cut, just because it is uncut for violence. So, and next up we have Ted. Hilarious film. It's just such fun. Like, beneath all the crudeness, there is a sweetness to it as well. Yeah, this comes with both the original and the extended cut of the film. The extended cut is pretty good, actually. It does add some new stuff, and it does extend some scenes that were already in the film. Then next up we have Ted 2. Obviously it's not quite as good as Ted 1, but you know, it's still very funny. Like, it is just such a joy to watch these films because they are extremely hilarious. And then Next up, we have Tenet, which, you know, the big pandemic blockbuster that we all needed. Well, not according to everyone, but I really loved it. It's probably one of my favorites of last year. It's just such a, you know, it's such a big film, you know, so ambitious. And yeah, I'll probably rewatch it soon just to understand it all better. But yeah, the Blu-ray release looks very nice, and there's a bit of spot gloss on the cover, and inside it actually comes with a bonus disc. Obviously, being a Chris Nolan film, and both discs have individual artwork, which does look nice. And next up we have This Is England, the Steelbook. I managed to get this for fairly cheap from CX, because I know this was originally a limited to 2000 run on Zavi, so obviously it's out of print, but £3 for an out of print Steelbook is too good not to pass up, and it looks gorgeous. Like, I really love the glossy finish and that cover, and it does continue fairly well over to the back as well, and inside a nice black and white image of Stephen Graham's character. And next up we have Train to Busan. Fantastic film, seriously. A very original and fast-paced, contained take on the zombie genre, which has become quite oversaturated, but this film was brilliant. I haven't seen Peninsula, but I've heard it is a bit disappointing compared to the first film. And next up we have Unhinged, the real surprise of 2020. This is the first new film to come out in cinemas post-pandemic, and yeah, well, not post-pandemic, post-lockdown, but yeah, this is such fun. Russell Crowe is brilliant. And next up we have Venom, which I do quite enjoy this film. Obviously there's some elements that aren't so good, like the retconning of the Venom origin story and the generic grey villain Riot, but you know, it's pretty entertaining. I do love the bickering back and forth dynamic Tom Hardy has with himself, because he also does the Venom voice as well as play Eddie Brock. Yeah, I really love this slipcover as well. Like, it's a very nice matte finish with some spot gloss. It just looks lovely. Next up we have Vice. I still need to see this. I've heard it is very funny, and yeah, obviously as you can see from the cover, Christian Bale's unrecognisable, so I'm looking forward to seeing it on that alone. I hear he is brilliant in the film, but obviously it also comes with a black case, which, you know, it looks very nice, even with the blue band at the top of the slip. It, you know, it fits well with the cover. Next up we have The Wall, a really good film, a really good contained film with Aaron Taylor-Johnson and John Cena. Aaron Taylor-Johnson is fantastic, and the ending genuinely took me by surprise. Yeah, it is very good, and I would recommend it. And next up we have X-Men Days of Future Past, one of the best of the franchise, and this 3D release looks lovely. I love that cover, and it's got a nice reflective slip and some really nice embossing on like the characters and on the logo, and there is that embossing on the spine as well. And what I really like is that on both sides of the spine you have Charles and Eric, and then on the actual Blu-ray itself you have Wolverine and Mystique. And then next up we have X-Men Apocalypse 3D. This edition looks so gorgeous. Like, this is such a beautiful slip. I really love this spot gloss and the holofoil, and get that on the back as well, and even spine on one side you have Charles, and on the other you've got Eric. Then next up we have Yesterday. I still need to watch this, but I hear it's a very good, feel-good sort of film, and I do really like the concept of everyone in the world kind of forgetting who the Beatles are, and they're not actually turning up in the likes of Google, basically wiped from existence. But yeah, I'm looking forward to checking it out. Next up we have Zero Dark 30, a brilliant film all about the hunt for Bin Laden. Obviously it's a very long film, but it's a big story of a lot to take in, so that's understandable. But there are some really fantastic tense scenes. Then of course we've got Zombieland, which this film is just such fun. It's definitely not just a rinse and repeat of Shaun of the Dead. It actually does its own thing. This is more the zombie apocalypse rather than the outbreak, which Shaun of the Dead was. But this is very funny, and I just love like the rules and Tallahassee's hunt for the Twinkies, and of course to go with that, we've got Zombieland Double Tap, which obviously it's not quite as good as the first. Like the story was quite predictable, and some of the character arcs were a bit of a rehash, but this film was so funny. It is just a lot of fun. So yeah, that is my complete Blu-ray collection as of April 2021. So there will probably be another Blu-ray collection video around this time next year. So be on the wait for that. And there'll probably be another video soon, maybe a review of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So yeah, if you enjoyed it, please be sure to give it a big old thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you're new, and don't forget to turn on post notifications so you don't miss an upload.